Welcome back to the Garden with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy to have you around. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a little part of your day just for a little bit. More information about those coupon codes and the companies that financially support the program to allow it to be heard on your station each week. You can find all that out at our parent website, thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com, under the Money tab for the coupon codes and the Radio 9 tab for all past shows and sponsors. Well, make it at home. It'll taste better. Convenience is the word that many people use for not taking extra steps to make things themselves. Well, I don't have time, or it's more convenient to buy it and put it on my salad or utilize X, Y, and Z.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but there is a distinct, in 98% of everything, there is a very distinct increasedness of enjoyment and taste by homemaking it versus buying at the store. Not for the satisfaction of, oh, I saved money, but just simply strictly in the palate taste of it. It is so much more flavorful to do it, to make it at home.
Right. So there's a lot of things that you can make that are
pretty much anything.
Well, obviously pretty much anything, but a lot of these are really simple.
Yep.
And are common. So maybe some are not as common, but one is mustard, and you can easily make mustard with mustard seeds, which you can get at most grocery stores. Now, if you're not sure,
if you want to buy in bulk, you go to an Indian store.
Like an Indian food store.
Yeah, because you can buy a tiny bag or bushels.
Right, and
I don't know if you want 50 pounds of mustard.
I'm trying to think if I've seen them anywhere else, like in large amounts, but
it's not the common. It's not just yellow mustard you can make.
Right, you can make brown mustard. You can make like beer mustard, cherry mustard, cranberry mustard. You name it.
I guess like strawberry and pineapple. I don't know why
that would be. I don't know if that would be.
I know, but there's really no now. When you make this, is it strictly you have to water bath can it, or can you make it and put it in the fridge and make it in small batches, or what's the criteria for that?
Sure. So mustard you make in the 4 ounce. No, 4. Is it 2 ounce?
It's the half of a half.
That's 4 ounces.
Yeah. But do you have to can, or can you make it and strictly use it right away, or is it a long term? Is it a canning situation?
I guess you could use it right away. Like I don't see why you couldn't, but canning it helps for longevity. So
if you don't want to can, you could make it without having to can it.
Yeah, you would just have to cook down the mustard seeds.
And then crush it.
Yeah, and crush it. So basically it's like mustard seeds, vinegar, sugar, or salts, and then whatever flavorings that you would be using. So that's what mustard is. Then we have hot sauce. Joey and I are not huge on hot sauce, but a lot of people do make this themselves. That usually requires a blender. It
is a 4 ounce jar, okay. A quarter pint jelly jar.
There we go.
No, hot sauce. I don't mind a little bit of hot, but some of these people enjoy how hot can I stand to this particular item. Extremely hot. Like I would think you put on your car and your paint would start bubbling off.
Right.
Well, you see some of these shows where the chef has a respirator and gloves on, and they prepare the hot wings, and then they brought it out and go, "Enjoy, sir," and
well, that's because of the capsaicin.
Correct.
They don't want that when they're cooking it, in the steam or whatever.
But somebody's eating this.
Whatever, I don't know. So anyway, you can make.
But there are people that there's challenges on the internet of how hot can you make it, and there's different ways of gauging the heat of it.
I had a friend who would make this Asian hot sauce. They had these hot peppers and then some sort of vinegar, and it was like something that he would eat at this. I believe it was a Japanese restaurant. It was super hot.
So he brought it to the Japanese restaurant?
No, he would eat it there, and then he asked the owner.
They prepared it there for him, and he bought it.
No, he made it. So he got the recipe from these people.
Okay. So he was enjoying it there. He wanted to make it home, so he asked for the recipe. Okay.
Yeah. And it had like really hot peppers.
What is the stuff? Is it Japanese or Chinese? It's that green paste.
Wasabi?
Yeah, that's where it is.
You can make that too, I think.
But that's hot as well.
Yeah, that is. That's also, I don't know what wasabi is made of, but that brings us to horseradish sauce, which you can make. You and I tried to make horseradish sauce because we have horseradish that grows in the front yard that we did not plant. Who planted that?
Been here for years.
Okay. Now this is where this borderlines with making something like your own mayonnaise. So if you make your own horseradish sauce, you could obviously you make it with mayonnaise and I think like sour cream or something. I forget. But if you want to make your own mayonnaise, I've done that, and you use egg yolks, I believe, and then oil and salt, and then you have to emulsify it. So you need a blender or a food processor, and then it emulsifies, and then you have your own mayonnaise. And then the horseradish sauce, you would add the horseradish to make it a sauce.
The horseradish is only activated. The heat's only activated when you grind it.
Right.
You can eat it like a carrot, and there's nothing really intense about it. But you grind it, it oxidizes, and boy, it really hits the.
It's a good way to clean out your sinuses.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you can make your own taco seasoning. I do this, and I have done this, where you use chili powder, cumin. You can omit any of the
wasabi. Back to the wasabi thing. The vast majority of wasabi served in restaurants and sold in stores. However, it's actually a mixture of horseradish, mustard, and green food coloring. A real wasabi is difficult to grow and extremely expensive.
That's what I've heard. So that's interesting. So you can make your own faux wasabi.
Yep.
Your own fake wasabi. So anyway, taco seasoning. I make taco seasoning myself, and there's lots of recipes online, but I use chili powder.
You're using raw ingredients.
Yeah.
To construct whatever flavor you want.
Right. And I just do this one batch at a time, but there are recipes where you could do like a whole jar full.
Well, by doing that, you're leaving out some of the additional things that you may get in a pre-made package, the emulsifiers or all this other stuff that may or may not be good for us.
And I don't add as much salt. I mean, you can buy low sodium taco seasoning, and if you're buying taco seasoning, that's fine. I buy it sometimes too, but if I have the time, I do make it myself. So it's chili powder, usually chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, a little bit of oregano, salt, pepper. I feel like I'm missing something, but yeah, it's pretty simple.
Well, honey mustard is an easy thing to make too. It's Dijon mustard, honey, and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And it is 100 times better than what you get in a bottle or at a restaurant. It is just the flavor, and it's not like, it's just so fraction of the quantity in order to get twice the flavor.
Yeah, it's really good. I remember I made it.
And you can make it in like 12 seconds.
I remember I made it recently when we had like potato wedges or something.
Ranch dressing. This is something that's very easy to make and incredibly different from store-bought versus homemade in a good way.
It definitely has a very fresh, herby taste when you make it yourself. And even if you buy the packets, it's that's still really good. But when you're adding your own parsley, dill, etc.,
I mean, there is quite a number of items that is required. You do have to half a cup of mayonnaise, sour cream, buttermilk or regular milk, freshly chopped parsley, dill, chives, lemon juice, onion powder, garlic powder, salt to taste, freshly ground black pepper. So you can omit any of those, but that is really the basis of traditional, wonderful, homemade ranch dressing.
Yeah, I like a lot of dill in my ranch dressing, so making it yourself can be helpful for that. I guess you could just mix it in regular stuff. Brats. Joey's going to make venison brats.
Yeah, when we get venison, we had not as much as I thought, but there's recipe. You get the casing and you can season the brat however you want. Years ago, back on the farm, I'd made several batches and the recipe calls for a certain amount of pork fat in order to make it more juicy. I never did that. I just did 100% venison. And in the recipe book, I remember making it, but I don't remember, this is 25 years ago. We're old enough to say that. I remember everybody liking it, the guys liking it, and I wrote very good in the recipe book. So we'll do that again. What?
It's a rave review.
Uh-huh.
All right, so you can also make your own garlic powder, onion powder, which we have done. And if you do this, you might want to put your dehydrator
outside or in an attic or in a ventilator, because it will overpower the ambient air in your home. This is a really good thing to utilize whenever you have guests around that are like you want them to leave. I'm going to make some onion powder, going to dehydrate. It is very, very potent whenever you're dehydrating it. Dehydrated onions is almost identical to the onion things that you put on top of your green bean casserole.
Oh, the French fried
French fried. When you dehydrate and you cut the onions up and put them on dehydrator, at the end it's basically interchangeable. There
you go. So then there's fermented foods, and this can be anything from yogurt to sourdough to fermented salsas, vinegars, kombucha. There's a lot of options for this, and if you're like, I don't know where to get the starter, or I don't know where to get the grains,
you can make your own starter.
You can make your own starter, or you can purchase a lot of these things online. There's a lot of different websites, and then also you probably know somebody who has a sourdough starter that they can give you, or give you some of there's something
with like a sourdough starter. Once you've purchased it or created it and done it correctly, it's everlasting, is it not? As long as you keep feeding it, right?
Yeah. And this is why I don't make sourdough.
Because you forget.
I don't want to be responsible for this.
You've got a cat. That's enough for you.
Yeah, that's enough for me. Because people will be like, I don't know what to do when I'm going on vacation. There's ways.
So people will like take their sourdough to their friends, and their friends will feed the sourdough while they're on vacation?
I don't.
Well, you seem like.
I think you can put it in your fridge and kind of slow it down. I'm not really sure though. It seems like it's a growing problem. But bump.
Here's my fish and my sourdoughs. We'll see you in a week. Thanks.
I don't really get it. It freaks me out, to be honest. And
what do you think? It's going to be like a movie where it's just and come over?
No, it's just like a whole responsibility. And
it is water and flour and yeast.
I get that. No, it's yeast that is made by itself.
Right. It's flour and water, isn't it?
It is. But I'm saying is that I don't want to be responsible.
I think you're overthinking this.
I'm saying that I don't want to be pumping out the bread to make this sourdough situation.
Who needs more bread? I got to get rid of this sourdough because there is a shelf life on it once it gets to a certain size.
It makes sense if you have children who eat the bread.
And sourdough is a bread that your body can break down, correct? Better or in a way that store-bought traditional bread, because of the whatever it is inside of it,
the fermentation, lactoferment,
and your body can actually break that down and make it into a usable energy source.
Sure.
Better than regular bread.
It's a little bit better for you. Okay. I guess it's good for your gut microbiome.
All right.
Joey, summer's winding down, but just because it's fall, we don't want to forget about our yards and those Japanese beetles and other grubs. They may now be hidden, but they're not far. Not only did the beetles feast on your roses and berries this summer, they laid eggs in your turf so that they can invade your yard again next year. Fight back with Phylum's Grub Gone. Grub Gone is a non-chemical BT granule that applied to lawns and specifically targets scarab pests and their larvae with an 80% plus control even in the fall.
Holly, did you know that Grub Gone is the only non-chemical choice that effectively controls grubs? And when you combine it with the best chemical grub control at very low amounts, BioAdvanced grub control products, the tough-to-kill fall season grubs, are hit with a 1-2 punch that kills them at the best rate tested, nearly 100%. This combo of the best of biology and chemistry is called IPM, Integrated Pest Management, which is the best industry practice. Mix 1.25 pounds of each per 1,000 square feet equals 100% control. Grub Gone from Phylum Bioproducts, the best combination of safety and performance.